Hi, welcome. How are you doing today?
I think I'm doing okay. Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Is there anything like in particular that you want to work on or discuss today?
Yes, I think I've been feeling like sometimes less of a person, less, um, more inadequate rather, and that makes me feel like less of a person.
Okay. And is there something in particular that you're referring to? Or
I think it mainly um, pertains to work, you know,
Mhm.
not being able to complete all my tasks on time, my daily tasks, my weekly tasks, and even work, knowing that I still have things to do is not a good feeling.
Okay. So it's really just the work stress that you feel like is affecting your feelings of adequacy.
Yes, I think that's what I think is the main thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I feel like then that permeates into other areas of my life, you know, and it's always in the back of my mind, I'm playing with my kids. Oh, but you got this work to do, you gotta finish this, and you gotta do that, and it's pervasive, right? It doesn't make for a peaceful day off, or
Right.
time off rather from work.
Okay, so it's impeding then on your ability to like be present in the moment with your family or when you're with other people outside of work because you're thinking about work. Does that sound right?
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head because um, I feel like I should be able to enjoy my time away from work. This is why we work, right? To make money, do our job, go home and enjoy the fruits of our labor. And it's tough not to be fully enjoying those fruits without the stress that's lingering in your mind.
Okay. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, it sounds like that has then, like I mentioned before, really impeded then on your life. And do you, for work, do you have like long-term goals that you are um, thinking about? Okay, this is what I would like to see improve. This is what I would like to work on. Anything like that you would?
Yes, I do. I think I feel like I always have a plan. Let me just say that. I feel like I always have a plan, but then when I come to work, something just tears that plan to pieces.
Okay.
And that in itself is stressful. So my long-term plan is to chip away at the long list of things that needs to be done while working on the important things of the day, and ask for help as need be, and try to catch up as fast as possible.
Okay. I like what you said is asking for help because that's huge in within work environments too, is knowing who to talk to, who your resources are, getting that extra support. And so it's good that do you feel comfortable talking to certain people or certain supervisors or asking for help from them?
I'd say yes, because it's almost like a relief. It's almost like it takes a burden off an extra burden off my shoulders if I just could ask for it. So at least someone hears that, hey, he needs help. Hey, we need to pay attention because he could be drowning in work.
Right.
And something has to be done. And I don't see myself as a person who has to do it all at all. I understand my limitations.
Yeah.
And, sometimes I think maybe I want to try to be that guy,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm only fooling myself.
Okay. So you mentioned limitations, and every human, we're human, we all have those limitations. So that's good that you recognize those things that are like, hey, this is something that I need a little bit more help on. This is something that I'd like to improve on, and getting the help that you need. And so that's a very mature way of looking at it, and being able to communicate then with your supervisors when you do need help as well. So, I really applaud you for seeing that and recognizing that, and also, working on those goals to get you to where you want to, and within your goals within your career.
Yeah, thank you. I think sessions like these are important to me personally, because I usually keep these thoughts and feelings balled up inside. I don't usually talk to people other than my wife about how stressed I am. And I usually don't like telling her that, because then she gets stressed out, and that makes it worse for me in my head. So I tend to keep it in. So I appreciate being able to come in here and just like share with you how I feel, and
Yeah.
just to get that off. So
No,
thanks for
absolutely.
listening.
Oh, absolutely. Have you ever journaled before?
I have journaled before. I haven't done it in a long time.
Okay. Is that something that you would be interested in doing, as far as getting your thoughts out?
Yeah, I think so. I would enjoy doing that.
Yeah. In the past, did it help you, or how did it help you?
I think in the past, journaling helped me to reflect on my pros and cons, my ups and downs, what worked well, but also it helped me to prioritize my goals and my dreams, and to focus in spite of any negative influences that, hey, remember, this is what you want, you got to keep going. You know what I mean? So even though I felt downtrodden or despondent, it was a reminder to me that, hey, you wrote this down. This was your dream. This was your goal, not anybody else's, not your supervisor, not your wife, not, you know what I mean? So it was a kind of reminder that, like, hey, you could do this and keep on going.
Yeah. Journaling is great in that respect. It gives us that outlet to express what we're really feeling and thinking, and gives us a opportunity to reflect back, right? If we look back at journal entries, then we can say, wow, we've grown.
Yeah.
Right? Have you looked back at those journal entries that you did previously?
Oh, I have not in a long time, but that could be scary. It could be scary, I think.
What do you mean by that?
I think at this moment in time, looking back at that journal could bring about more feelings of inadequacy in seeing some of the goals that I did set out for myself that I have not achieved. You know what I mean? That's just my thinking right now. That's because that's the way I feel today.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe it might bring about more feelings of inadequacy because of that reason.
Okay. So much of we put a lot of our identity or who we believe that we are, um, in maybe our roles at work, or being a parent, or being a father, or a spouse. So I wanted to get your intake on what you believe your values are, and identity. So we can start out with values. So what are some values that you have?
Would you be able to give me an example of a value? Share that.
Yeah, a value could be, I think spending time with my family is really important. That could be a value of yours.
Yeah, okay. Well, I agree with that one. I identify
Okay.
with that right
Okay,
off the bat,
great.
because spending time with family does mean a lot, to me. I think I pride myself on being someone who has to be in the moment. So when I'm at work, I want to be fully engrossed at work, and I want to be able to exceed any expectations that I have at work. Personal expectations. I don't have to impress everyone in the building, but I want to be able to meet my goals, and I think that could be part of the reason why some days I do feel inadequate, but that's definitely one of my values, to, do what I set out to do, you know what I mean? And be in the moment while doing it, which is probably why when I'm with family, thinking about work, why it's so disharmonic, it's so unsettling to me, because I'm supposed to be there fully, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm not, so I think being in the moment and being able to do my best in the moment is a value of mine, and also setting a good example, helping people out, setting a good example, like some of my values.
Right. And working, it sounds like you're a hard worker too.
I would consider myself to be that, although some people might disagree because of my performance.
Well, it sounds like you are a hard worker. You want to be in the moment. You mentioned family as well, that those are all important values to you.
Yes.
And going along, now that you kind of identified some of those values, any kind of identity, like what you would say, this is something that I identify with. It could be, I'm just using family again. It could be that I am a parent. And then when you identify that, I would like you to, from a scale to 1 to 10, say where that falls. Like just, you come up with your own example, but where that falls within the importance and what that means to you.
Yeah, that brings some food for thought, and also takes me back in time also. If you don't mind, I can give you an example.
Sure.
I think I was about maybe 10 or 11 years old when I played for my first club soccer team, and the coach just appointed me as the captain.
Wow.
And I was like, why are you doing this? And I don't remember what answer the coach gave, but I think one thing I identify as being since that point is being a leader, being a just leader, somebody who could rally a team to achieve a purposeful goal, that would make people's lives better, and I've seen examples of that throughout my short lifetime, and so being where I am right now in this role, I feel like I could be doing more, and I should be doing more, and I need to be a better leader, so I don't know if I'm putting too much pressure on myself.
Mm.
If well, I definitely need help because I think all leaders do, right? And I'm not ashamed to ask for that or to talk about where I need improvement. You know, I know I need to work on that in order to be a better leader. You know what I mean? So, on a scale of 1 to 10, where I would rate myself right now, whew, probably a 6 or 7.
Okay.
And that's just from personal values because I know I'm doing my best, you know, and I know, even though I know I could be better, I need help to be better, you know, so that's where I see myself right now.
Okay. And you touched on it on it a little bit, but what it means to you
What
to be a leader, to
I think being a leader is it's there's a certain importance to it, you know, because a leader is in a role for a reason. You have extra responsibilities, you have extra things to be mindful of, you have to be empowering, you know, and you almost have to have the ability to always be uplifting to your team, you know. So if you're feeling down or inadequate, that's usually not a good trait to have as a leader or a competent leader, so to speak. You know what I mean? So I think it adds to the conflict, especially on days like today.
Okay. So it's, you know, when you brought up the example of the soccer team, I just thought that was great because your coach, saw something in you that maybe you didn't even see within yourself.
Yep.
And so sometimes it's easy to be critical on ourselves when there's strengths that we don't always see within ourselves, but they're there and other people see it. And so you were, you know, awarded that opportunity, and in the position that you are right now, you're awarded that. People saw that within you, right?
Yes.
To hire you, and they saw that strength. And it sounds like that's something that's really, it is important to you because you had mentioned that it's important to you.
Yeah.
And so, as an encouragement, that we can only do the best that we can, you know, and taking this role seriously as you are, you know, that's a really wonderful thing and beneficial for people who are under your care as well. Yeah. And so I think that's something that you identify with. That's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Because then that does make us stronger leaders.
Yes.
When we can identify with other people too.
Absolutely. So I think I always look out for instances where people are showing positive qualities, you know, so that I can learn, and I do try to point out where their strengths are and focus on people's strengths. But like you said, it's always tough when you're critical of yourself because you feel like you could be doing more, or you failed in one area, but that doesn't mean you're a failure. You know?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Thank you for pointing that out. I think I'm gonna take that with me.
Yes, absolutely. And it's really wonderful though that all these qualities that is really important in leaders are things that you find important in your and taking seriously, which then again makes us really adequate leaders.
Yeah. Is that word adequate? It's just, I think that's the first time we mentioned the word adequate, since we started our meeting, because
Yes.
I've been saying inadequate all the time. So that's
Yes.
a good turnaround, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so what's your takeaway from today?
I think there's perspectives to everything, you
Mhm.
know, and you helped me to realize that I may feel inadequate, but there's also an adequate side of things that I need to pay more attention to, and continue to ask for help.
Yes.
You know, and keep moving forward. You know, because I don't need to spend time in the past and thinking about how I failed or how I felt inadequate. You know, I have an opportunity today to do my job and keep moving forward, and also at the same time be reminded when I'm with family that, hey, you deserve to enjoy this time with me. You know what I mean? So yeah, so thank you.
Yes.
Take away.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.